Hello everyone, my name is Zenitsu and I'm back with another Digimon video. So today we got basically the entire card list for Special Booster version 1.0. This is the English release, so now we know every single card that is going to be in our first booster box. And subsequently, because we know everything that's going to be coming out in our first booster box, we also know what's going to be coming out in version 1.5 because it's just whatever's left of booster sets 1 through 3 that we didn't get in Special Booster version 1. But for now, I'm just going to be talking about Special Booster 1 and what we're getting and kind of just a breakdown by color and by set for, the set. So basically, we're getting almost the entirety of Japan's Booster 1 because, that's just the easiest thing that they could do is just move over all of the Booster Set 1 cards. So as far as what Red's doing, you could still play the Red Piercer deck if you really wanted to, and you could play War Greymon and Omnimon. And then as far as what Blue's doing, Blue is basically doing the same thing that it's doing from Japan's Booster 1, so you have access to all of those decks as well, so you have the whole Garurumon into Metal Garurumon combo, where if that Garurumon is in the stack, then you could use Metal Garurumon to separate it, and basically give this Metal Garurumon an extra attack. And then as far as Yellow is basically doing what Yellow's been doing, so you have like Seraphimon Recovery Angels, so you could try to build like this Yellow Healer deck. In Green, you have Green Piercers, and then you also have like the Rosemon Control decks. And then, like I said before, you have Omnimon available for Red and Blue, so you could play Omnimon Turbo right out of the gates. And then the booster set already said that we're going to be getting all of the Digidestin, so it shouldn't come as a surprise that we're getting all of the Digidestin Tamer cards. And then we just have some nice options to just help round out each of the colors. And then as far as what we're getting from Booster Set 2, we're getting, for the most part, the majority of it is going to be the black and purple package, because in Booster Set 2, that's when they introduce black and purple, and it only makes sense that we just get all of those cards as well for our Booster 1, just so we could start playing those colors right out of the gate. So as far as what Red's doing, we're getting the Guilmon lineup, so we get Guilmon and Gallantmon, so you could start building an early Gallantmon deck, and I think that's going to be a pretty interesting and solid deck. And then we're also getting all of the on-play megas, so for Red we're getting Volcanodramon, for Blue we're getting Metal Seadramon, for Yellow we're getting Magnadramon, so on and so forth. And then as far as what Green is getting from Booster Set 2, we're getting the Rust Tyrannomon line, so this really complements that Green Piercers strategy, where you could play him with Hercules Kabuterimon and really form like this, I'm going to rest your stuff down, attack into it, and then piercing damage to deal the damage through, while deleting the opponent's Digimon. And then we just have Cherrymon randomly thrown in here just because why not? And then, like I said earlier, we're getting the entirety of the black package, so you could build both of the black decks that came with black when it first was released in Booster Set 2. So we have the War Greymon Blocker Reboot lineup, we have Machinedramon because he's a good when played, and we are even getting the Dioboromon lineup, even though he's not technically a black card because Dioboromon is white, all of his support is coming from black. And then, similar to black, we're also just getting the entire purple lineup from Booster Set 2, just, to make it so that we could actually play these colors right out of the gates instead of waiting an entire set. You could play the purple Piedmon deck that's been pretty popular. You could play a Metal Garurumon deck that might start to be forming, along with Beelzemon. And then we also have Millenniumon in the set, so you could build Millenniumon Black Turbo or Millenniumon Purple Turbo if you really wanted to. And then, like I said, we have Dioboromon. And we have the other Digidestins that we knew were going to be in the set. We have Taiga in the set to complement Rust Tyrannomon. And then it shouldn't come as a surprise that we're getting the color-shifted Tai and the color-shifted Matt. And then as far as what some of the option cards that we're getting from Booster Set 2, we're getting the ones that kind of just complement the Digimon that we already have as far as like the main ones. So we're getting the options that go with Gallantmon. We're getting River of Power for blue because we're getting Metal Seadramon. And then we're getting Taros Cluster because we are getting Rust Tyrannomon. And then as far as the black lineup goes, we get the whole black and the whole purple lineup from Booster Set 2. Now, moving on to Booster Set 3, this is where things start to get interesting because we do get a little bit of Booster Set 3 cards, except it's kind of just, I don't want to say all over the place, it's just weird. So, starting off with blue, we're getting Leopardmon, which I actually think is a pretty smart choice considering Leopardmon has some good synergy with Booster Set 1's Metal Garurumon because they are doing a very similar thing by you get to separate a level 4. So obviously the big synergy was with Garurumon from Booster Set 1 where he has a on play. You get to activate one of your exhausted Digimon. So that way you could get another attack in or just stand him up just to stand him up. So I actually think Leopardmon is a pretty good choice to put into this booster to complement that strategy. As far as what Yellow is getting Kentarosmon because I think that Yellow is very, very bad with Outshine Greymon, and Kentarosmon is definitely one of the better Yellow Megas that they have available to them. So you could play a Kentarosmon deck to try to stave off some damage, play him with some of the Seraphimon and Magnadramon stuff to try to keep your life total as healthy as possible, and play this like really interesting attrition game. So it's at least giving Yellow some extra playability, even though Shine Greymon is the only real Yellow deck. I definitely like the fact that Kentarosmon is in here to try to help Yellow for Special Booster 1.0. And then as far as what's Black's getting, it's really weird that Black is getting a lot fewer cards than Purple when they have a very similar amount of cards available to them in the card pool. And the fact that the cards that they chose for Black is just kind of weird because they chose Chumon, which, don't get me wrong, I love Chumon, and Chumon is a very, very solid card to help stifle the opponent's ability to gain memory. But what's really weird is that Chumon synergizes with Sukamon, and the fact that we don't have Sukamon to go with Chumon just feels very weird. And same thing with Metal Edamon. He generally goes with the original Edamon, and the original Edamon pulls out Metal Edamon. At least that's the whole idea. Same thing with Sukamon and Chumon. So it's like we get half of the combo, but we don't get the other half for two different instances of this. So this just feels very weird, but I do like Chumon being an early card accessible to Black because it would definitely help push Black forward right out of the gates because Black isn't exactly the most powerful without set 3 cards, but at least this definitely gives them a nice boost. And then as far as what Purple got a lot, actually. Purple got Tsukaimon, which is just an on-destroy memory gaining. Same thing with Devidramon, so these aren't really doing exactly a whole lot. But what's really important is we got Raremon and Lilithmon because these two cards combo and synergize very, very nicely, where you want to play your purple options and then you get benefits for playing your purple options. And then Raremon is a card that lets you help search your purple options as well as fill up your trash at the same time. So seeing these two definitely make purple a really powerful color out of the gates, especially with Boltmon because Boltmon is just their value vanilla mega. So he allows you to turbo into Millenniumon a lot more efficiently than some of the other Digimon. And then as far as the options go, we're only really getting two options, one for Black and one for Purple. The one for Purple is really, really good, and I think is going to see quite a good amount of play because it basically just lets you revive one of your Digimon, which is really good because we have a lot of self-sacrificing synergy with the Booster Set 2 Purple cards. Because we're getting cards like Heat Viper and we're getting Chimeramon, where they want to sacrifice your own Digimon to destroy the opponent's Digimon. And this card just synergizes with them very, very nicely, especially with Lilithmon, because Lilithmon allows you to just, gain memory back from playing your options. And then I really like the fact that black is getting Looking Back on the Good Times, because this is just black's probably best removal card. It's really weird to say that, but it's definitely a really good removal option for black, at least early on, because one of the big problems with black is, okay, you could de-digivolve the opponent's Digimon, but they still get to keep the Digimon, so that means they still get an attack out of it, if they really want to. And this card just allows you to basically just de-digivolve and have the chance at destroying the opponent's Digimon. So it's just really nice to see that black gets their removal option in here. So for the most part, that's all that we're getting from Special Booster 1. I think it's definitely going to be a really interesting set, and as far as the popular or powerful decks to look out for, obviously Omnimon is going to be a really powerful deck to look out for. Beelzemon and Piedmon Purple is definitely going to be a very, very good and powerful deck to look out for. We even have Lilithmon that we could start tinkering with. On top of which, we have both Gallantmon and Rust Tyrannomon, which are two very, very good options for both red and green, respectively, in terms of how you want to play them. And then, like I said, we also have the Black Blockers deck, which is a pretty okay deck, and we also have Turbo Millenniumon, which is another very interesting deck. And then we have, like, Garurumon Swarm, which is going to be a pretty interesting deck because we have Leopardmon to think about. And then we even have Red Piercers and War Greymon to think about for red. So there's definitely going to be a lot of possible decks that we could play very, very early on, and I'm definitely looking forward to Special Booster 1. On top of which, we also have the starter decks to play with. So I'm definitely really excited and looking forward to the release of the English versions. So that's kind of all I have for this video. As always, feel free to tell me your thoughts down in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content, and I will see you in the next video.